table. So I've tried to grow up. I'm 34, so I've tried to, sort my subconscious mind out, take a bit of ownership of it, and act my age. So the other day, it was a couple of months ago, I did possibly the most grown-up thing I've ever done, and I booked myself in for a prostate exam. I'm in the danger zone. Someone went, they're right to it. I assume we all know how the prostate exam takes place, but if you don't, I'll explain to you. There's nothing dirty or funny about it. Simple is, the doctor will pop his finger into your bottom, wriggle it around a little bit. After a few seconds, 99 times out of 100, he says you're fine, you go back to business. So, this one, I went to the doctor, was very grown up, very proud of himself. He was brilliant. Right from the start, he put me at ease. He said to me, as I went in there, he went, you a little bit uncomfortable, a bit anxious about this? I went, yeah, I am actually, doctor, to be honest with you. And I swear this is true. He went, how do you think I feel? I'm about to put my finger in another man's arsehole. I said, fair play, doc, you win this one. He told me to go behind the curtain, take off my clothes and get up on the bench. Right? It was the instant that he poked his head round the curtain, I realised he hadn't meant to take off all of my clothes. Because I was there, stark bollock naked, in the fetal position. I looked back over my shoulder and went, oh, I didn't keep my top on. As I say, the procedure's very straightforward. He popped his finger in my bottom. It might have been two. Sure. To be honest, it felt like a fist. It's very sensitive down there. And it was wriggling around for a little bit. And then he made a noise that no man ever wants to hear when he's in this position. He just went, oh. And he froze. I thought, well, I don't really know how to deal with this situation, to be honest. And a few seconds went by, and I still didn't move. And I thought, I'm going to have to check out what's going on. So I looked over my shoulder, and he was just there, finger still in my bottom. And he was just looking at his watch. And I thought, that is a very odd way of checking my pulse. But he didn't move. A few more seconds went by, and eventually, my eye caught the clock in the corner of the room. And it was at that point that I realised that my subconscious mind had booked me an appointment at the doctor's to get my prostate checked at 11 o'clock on the 11th day of the 11th month. And my doctor was observing a 2-minute silence whilst performing my prostate. Even when I try to be grown up, he still gets it. Look, outwardly, I try and act like a grown up, I do, but inwardly, I'm still a child. I do things, I act like a child all the time. I play secret games. Like, men, show of hands, normally men in the room, how many men in this room play secret games that no one else knows you're playing? Nobody. And you know why? Because they're secret games. Well done then, you've passed the first test. Apart from Lee Terrell, who failed. That's fine. They'll strike you out. But it's fine. I want us to be able to talk about them, so I will tell you one of the ones I do, and hopefully that will sort of free you up to talk about some of the ones that you do as well. One of my favourite ones to do is, I flush the toilet as I start weeing, and then I race the flush. Anyone else now prepared to admit that they play any secret games? Lee Terrell, you definitely put your hand up. What secret game do you play?
I used to as a kid.
Very liquid in the system.
So make the next person win.
That's just horrible, isn't it? That's a reasonable one. That's not so much a game as just being an arse of a person to do. Anyone else got anything that they're prepared to admit? Try and put film quotes. And during a conversation you'll drop a film quote. So that's a great one as well. Just do that. I also play a game where if I'm in the car in traffic or if I'm walking down the street, I'll give myself 10 people that walk past me and I've got to choose one of them and marry them and spend the rest of my life with them. You ever do that? And it can be, if a woman goes by, you run the risk that the next 9 blokes are going to be blokes. And you have to go, oh well, I've got to pick him now, and you just go off and you marry him. That's just me. That's just me. Turns out that's just me. It's fine. What better place to find that out than when you're with 100 other people? It's fine. My classic one, my favourite one, I've done it as long as I remember, about 30 years I guess, and that is stair racing. Anyone do stair racing? That is when you race from the bottom stair to the top stair as fast as you can. And some of you may not know it, but I'm actually the developed a little commentary team in my head. There's a main commentator guy, he's named Martin. But there's a co-commentator slash analyst, he's Scottish, right? And I'll be there warming up, because I have to warm up before I do it. Genuinely, last week I was doing stair racing, I pulled my hamstring. That's how old I've become. I'll be warming up and the first commentator will kick in and he'll say something like, here we have Ashfrith, 34, but still very much in prime physical shape. And the other guy will kick in and go, that's right, Martin! He may be 34 and cap. It sounds more Scottish in my head, I'm now realising. Should have practiced the accent, that's all I know. He may be 34, he's gone Geordie, for fuck's sake. Imagine he sounds Scottish. He may be 34, Martin, but he's carrying this extra bit of weight round the middle. Yorkshire. But it gives him a very low centre of gravity. And he goes, oh, that's right. He's still very much the Peter Pan of the sport. And I've got a rival. He's a Russian lad. I can't pronounce his name though. It's one of those complicated Russian names. And he has just come back from serving a 6-month ban for using performance-enhancing escalators. So he's the one to beat. He's trying to win the crowd over. You know what I mean? He's been training extra hard. And I'll be warming up at the bottom of the stairs, and they'll say, it's good to have Frith back. Of course, he had that year out of the sport while he rented that bungalow. Myself in the zone. Sometimes I spend so much time warming up, my girlfriend will walk into the hall and she'll go, what the fucking hell are you doing? And then the commentator will kick in and go, oh no, Martin! There's someone on the pitch! What's he going to do? He's in a very fine, delicate mental position. How's he going to cope? And she'll walk by, and I've got to try and shake it off and get back in the zone. So I just, come on. And so what I do is, I do what an athlete does, I'll try and get the crowd on side, and I'll just go, when it builds to a crescendo, I brace myself, and I race myself the stairs as fast as I can, and he goes, oh Martin, it's unbelievable! It's a new world record! It's incredible! And I go, in your face, Russian lad! It's incredible! But now because I'm 34, I'll often get to the top of the stairs and go, the toilet's up there, so I'll just come in there. And then the Scottish commentator will kick in and he goes, 3, 2, 1, flush! So it's never a wasted trip. Never a wasted trip. Yeah, I'm 34. I'm not very social now. I've stopped. I've become old before my time. I've stopped socialising with friends. The only time I ever socialise now is when I'm sort of forced to do so by my girlfriend. She'll invite sort of her boyfriend to have play dates with me, like I'm 6 years old. The other day she was going to a concert and she said to me, Gemma and Dan are coming over on Saturday. Dan is going to drive Gemma here and he'll wait with you while we're at the concert. I was like, oh no, I don't want Dan to come over. What's your problem with Dan? I don't like Dan. What's the problem with that? Oh, smells funny. What do you mean Dan smells funny? What does he smell of? Fruit and spices. Are you talking about Dan's aftershave? Yes, I'm talking about Dan's aftershave. Why does Dan always have to wear so much aftershave? Come on, don't be ridiculous. You get on fine with Dan. I won't. We've got nothing in common with Dan. Dan likes football. Does he? Who does he support? England, I think. Fucking hell! Dan doesn't like football! That's an idiot! She'll say, oh, come on, it's not going to be for long. Dan will come over, you know? I'll get you the onion ring crisps you like and hot dogs. Chocolate ones, yes, chocolate ones. All right, Dan can come over. So Dan will come over, they'll come through the door, and you can say hello to Dan. Oh, Dan. It's very awkward. We'll go to the lounge, the girls will go off to the concert, we'll be sitting there, staring blank. It's very, very difficult. And then, a couple of hours later, my girlfriend will come home, and me and Dan will be inseparable. We'll be hugging each other, dancing around the room, naked from the waist up, ties round our head, screaming and shouting. We've invented a game called Bottle Top Bowls. which is a very convoluted game, 3 very difficult pages of rules you have to master, you can't get them wrong. The girls will go, come on, it's time to go. We go, no, please, no, 5 more minutes. And she go, oh, 5 more minutes. Oh, good, because we've got the semi-finals to play. So we'll play, and then 5 minutes will be up, and Gemma will go, come on, Dan, we've got to go. Do you need a toilet before we go? And then he'll be, oh, no, I don't. Come on, we've got a long journey. And so Dan will have to go to the toilet. By the time they leave, I'm just looking out the kitchen window, waving Dan off, wondering whether I'll ever see Dan again. Bye, Dad. Please come back. And then I go back to being miserable, which is, oh, I'm 34. I'm going to keep saying it. It's really. The worst thing about being 34 is I remember my dad being 34. That is a stake into your heart. I'm at an age I remember my dad being. It's all happened at once. Like the other day, genuinely, I was in Tesco's. This has never happened before. I was in Tesco's, and for 10 minutes I stood in front of the Shreddies, and I couldn't decide whether to buy Shreddies or Tesco Lattice Wheatie Squares. I was like, I can't work it out. I even tried to convince my little boy that they tasted the same. I know they don't taste the same. No. Tesco Wheatie Lattice Squares taste like shit. I know that, but there's a price difference, isn't there? Shreddies, they're in a larger box, aren't they? They're a bit more expensive, but they come in a larger box. Tesco Wheatie Lattice Squares, they come in a smaller box, but they're a damn sight cheaper. I've got to weigh that up. The other day, for the first time ever, I noticed a little yellow square next to the price on each of those products. And I've never seen it before. I genuinely believe they're written in a font that only 30-somethings can see. And it was the price per 100 grams of that product. I was weighing up which food to buy on how much it cost per 100 grams. When did that happen to me? My mum and dad, right, they always had an electric blanket. I always thought that made them old. It doesn't. I bought an electric blanket the other day. I bought an electric blanket so I can turn it on in the morning, so it warms my back up enough for me to physically be able to get out of bed in the mornings. 34 years old. I now do this thing. Please feel free to admit this if you do this as well, lads. I do this thing now. When I've gone for a wee and I've finished, I pop my cock and balls away. Literally just realised I don't know where my balls are at. No. Doesn't matter. I put my cock away, and just when I'm about to zip up, I take it back out again, and I let out the last bit of wee. It's a cock's length full of urine. I have to do that, genuinely, because otherwise I've always got a little wet patch on my arm. Does anyone else in the... I'm 34, I'm trying to trick my own penis into thinking I've finished urinating. It's just me, isn't it? The thing that's aged me the most of all, though, is pocket calls. We all know pocket calls when someone accidentally dials you from their pocket, sometimes called a bum call because people will sit on their phone and dial. And because my name is Ash, I'm always top of everyone's name on their phone list. So when I was 18, that was fine, it kept me young. Because every Friday and Saturday night, I'd get a phone call, and it'd just be my drunk mate in a nightclub, it'd be... My mate going, you look really pretty. Can I get a Bacardi Breezer? That's fine, that kept me young. Genuinely, a couple of Sundays ago, I got a phone call at 9 o'clock on a Sunday. And I knew it was a pocket call because there was a lot of rustling. I heard 2 voices, the first of which I didn't recognise, the second of which I knew straight away was one of my best mates. And this phone call aged me more than any other, because the first voice said, next on ITV, Downton Abbey. What was worse was, my mate then said, pause this, you go upstairs, get your onesie on, I'll put the kettle on and make the cup up. Suddenly I'm 34 years old, the most 34s I've ever been. But I tried, the best way, there is a way to keep yourself young. There's a foolproof way, and that is to have children. Because, especially if you're a man, all any man wants is a little boy. Because it means we get to act like little children ourselves. It's perfect. And I'm no different. I've got a little boy, it's brilliant. For example, this time last year, we had a bit of